All right, I'm going live. I'm going live. Finally. Sorry about the wait. So, what's funny is right when I was setting up this. Sorry, I'm sucking on a candy right now. My throat was kind of dry. Um, Austin Whitsitt is streaming right now. In fact, let me show you the title of his, or let me tell you what he's streaming about. Let me bring you over here. Musk suck to suck. I don't know what that means, but so we're gonna actually be talking about this right now. So,
dude, that's
so what we're gonna do is listen to what Musk says from right about here, and before we do that, let me just play you something and remind you a little something that happened years ago. We're going to probably want to keep this in mind while we're watching this video about this brain chip that Elon Musk is hoping to put in humans within 6 months. So just remember, I'm not going to play this whole video, but just remember this. Okay, so you guys remember that story? If you don't, 2,000 years ago, there was someone here that did miracles, like had the ability to change the laws of physics or something, and like he told this guy, he put some mud in this guy's eyes, and he said, "Go wash in the pool." And he did. And then he could see after that. Like he could see after that. But he was blind his whole life before that. His parents didn't understand it because they knew he was blind from birth. Anyway, keep that in mind because we are told in the Bible, we're told about someone that will come that will seem as though they are a savior to this world, and that they would be an imposter, though. They would be able to appeal to all the things that people thought were right and good, but they wouldn't be what they said they would be, or what people thought they were. And some people call it the Antichrist, or some people call it the false prophet, and I don't really know all the details, but I do know that the son of perdition, that's what Paul called him, or the man of lawlessness, or the man of sin. Well, there's very specific things that seems like this man is prophesied to do. So let's listen to Elon Musk and see if he's kind of acting as if he's going to be able to do these things when actually we've been warned and we have knowledge because of the scriptures. We have knowledge of who we need to be careful of, or who we need to keep our eye on, if that makes sense. So let's check this out. Listen carefully to what he says. I hope you can hear it okay. It seems like it's recorded kind of quiet, but I'm going to turn my mic off and we'll listen to him for a couple minutes. And this is about his brain chip here.
So for the first two applications we're going to aim for in humans are restoring vision. And I think this is like notable in that even if someone has never had vision ever, like they were born blind, we believe we can still restore vision. Because the visual part of the cortex is still there. Even if they've never seen before, we're confident that they could see. And then the other application being in the motor cortex, where we would initially enable someone who has no ability, almost no ability to operate their muscles, sort of like a sort of Stephen Hawking type situation, and enable them to operate their phone faster than someone who has working hands. But then obviously even better than that would be to bridge the connection. Take the signals from the motor cortex, and let's say somebody's got a broken neck, then bridging those signals to Neuralink devices located in the spinal cord. So we're confident there are no physical limitations to enabling full body functionality. As miraculous as it may sound, we're confident that it is possible.
So I don't even know if you guys can hear that. I'm hoping that you can. I actually am going to try to turn the volume up on it somehow. Let me just see. Hopefully you could hear what he was saying, but he's claiming to be able to heal the blind. Do you understand that? And he's even saying it might seem miraculous, but we believe it's possible. So let's listen to him again. He said two things that they were going to try to accomplish. I think it was about right here.
Like they were born blind, we believe we can still restore vision. Because the visual part of the cortex is still there. Even if they've never seen before, we're confident that they could see. And then the other application being in the motor cortex, where we would initially enable someone who has no ability, almost no ability to operate their muscles, sort of like a sort of Stephen Hawking type situation, and enable them to operate their phone faster than someone who has working hands. But then obviously even better than that would be to bridge the connection. Take the signals from the motor cortex, and let's say somebody's got a broken neck, then bridging those signals to Neuralink devices located in the spinal cord. So we're confident there are no physical limitations to enabling full body functionality. I mean, as miraculous as it may sound, we're confident that it is possible.
As miraculous as it may sound, we're confident that it is possible. And I don't know, like, let me just try to, let's try to, like bring it back to, like, why are we even talking about this? Why, who cares? He's a clown, he's a puppet, he's a front man or whatever. Okay, doesn't matter what he is or who we think he is. It's what he's doing that we should be paying attention to. I understand he can't talk without stuttering. Stuttering. He just can't. And it takes him forever to spit out a sentence. And he's 6 feet tall. And I don't care about any of that. It's what he's doing, if you think about it. What is he doing? Well, I can show you one thing he's doing. Possibly. Well, I know I can, but I just don't know if I have it right here. He's doing something in the sky. Do you guys know that? Let me just play a little bit of this. He has a dragon in the sky. I don't know if you know that. He has a vehicle. It's a capsule. It's like a little conical shaped vehicle. And it's called a dragon. And there's one attached to the space station right now. The space station, why? Well, it's bringing cargo and supplies to the space station from Earth. Now, this story is in your Bible, guys. It's in the book of Revelation. There's a dragon giving this beast his power, and it was like, who can make war with the beast? Like, I'm thinking in my head, you can't prove the Earth is flat because of the space station. Like, how many people stick to the globe because of the space station? They're like, see, it's right there. That proves it's a globe. I'm like, I don't even know how they prove it's a globe, but let's watch this for a second.
And he said to me, because of their iniquity, their judgment has been completed, and they will no longer be counted before me. Because of their sorceries, they have searched out and learnt, the earth and those who dwell upon it will be destroyed. And they came upon the wind from the east and from the west to the south. And the sound of the noise of their chariots was heard. And when this occurred, the holy ones observed it from heaven, and the pillars of the earth were shaken from their foundations, and the sound was heard from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven throughout the day. And all will fall down and worship the Lord of spirits.
Sorry, I'm trying to line something up so my computer's like complaining. That's why it's skipping like that. But yeah, don't believe this lie, you guys. We've had years of learning that they're like, I like what Stephanie Island Girl just said. Antichrist or not, whatever you believe, he's still working directly for Satan. You can just see the things he does. Some people think it's great. Some people, oh, he's for free speech. Well, don't be deceived, guys. What's he doing? Oh, he bought Twitter and he's going to make it better for free speech. Okay, great. What's he doing in the sky? Because the Antichrist, he does stuff in the sky. The false prophet or the second beast, he does stuff in the sky. He makes fire come down from the sky. He stands in the temple of God, showing himself that he's God. Where's the temple of God? Like, where's the throne of God, I should say? Because we're the temple of the Holy Spirit. People are, but where's the temple of God? In heaven. In the book of Revelation, the angels come out of the temple in heaven. I mean, it comes down, New Jerusalem comes down out of heaven from God in Revelation. So, don't believe it.
And this is the end of the second parable.
Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? Jesus answered, Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Every one that is of the truth heareth my voice.
Of course, I had to make it all skip while he was saying that. Do you guys understand what Jesus was saying? This was right before he was crucified. Like, I know a lot of people don't believe this story, but if you've seen truth, in the last recent years, I'll say, it's coming from somewhere. It's not from us. It should be obvious where it's coming from. Someone 2,000 years ago said they were going to bring truth. They were going to make it known. Nothing would be secret. Everything would be known. And knowledge would be increased. Look at our world. Holy cow. Let's see here. There was another. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click this so that it starts, and then I'm going to pause it so that it's lined up. Okay. I just want to show you another video after this. So he's going to heal the blind and make paraplegics walk, like make people like Stephen Hawking be able to walk again or whatever. Then we have COVID-19, and everybody freaks out from that. And now we have, he says within 6 months, they're going to be putting this into a human, this Neuralink. They've put it into monkeys. They've put it into pigs. He put it into a herd of swine, you guys. Think about it. Jesus cast a bunch of unclean spirits, legion, into a herd of swine. Doesn't it just seem like someone is imitating and claiming to be able to work miracles? And speaking of miracles, let's break that down a little bit so that we remember. Okay, as I was streaming right here, I've got 3 text messages came in from people for working for jobs or whatever. 3 text messages came in while I've been streaming here, and I haven't been streaming that long. And as I'm doing that, I'm realizing, well, isn't that kind of like a miracle? This is someone from, let's see, someone that I do work with. He's about 10 minutes away. And then someone that's about 30 minutes away. Another person that I texted with. So those people are far away from me. Yet I know exactly what they want me to understand because they sent me a message. They texted me. Okay, that's been around forever. Big deal. Okay, let's go back 100 years. Let's go back 200 years before you could plug anything into any outlet. Just think about this. Let's go back before we could fly. Okay, let's go back before we had cars. Let's go back to pretty much the fastest way we could cruise around would be on a horse. And, you know, that's a lot of work to keep a horse. And let's go back to the time when you got your water out of a well. That's how you got your water, or you got it out of some running river or something. And let's see, what else could we... what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bring it back to, you know, the simple things that we take for granted. Right now, and I've talked to Beck from Oz. This is just an example. YouTube channel, Beck from Oz. I've talked to her. She lives in Australia. I've talked to her on the phone before. So I had a conversation. I'm in Minnesota, USA. I had a conversation with someone in Australia, and it's no big deal. Isn't that kind of like magic a little bit? Almost like a miracle or supernatural almost? That someone can walk in your front yard and your Ring camera will send you a video of that person walking in your yard. How's that? Isn't that kind of like a little bit magic or a miracle? How did you get, how could someone get across the country 200 years ago? That would be, first of all, dangerous to try to travel across the country. You might die. And also, it might take you a whole summer. Or even longer, I really don't know. If you started walking, how far would you get before you had to go to sleep? How far the next day? Well, an example, my dad was in New Jersey on, what night was it? Well, he was there a couple days, and he got back on, oh boy, my days are all screwed up. I think he got back on Thursday. And he got back, he was telling me how he had a flight at like 11:30 at night on Thursday. But he was done with his work pretty much, and so he was going to have to kind of waste the day on Thursday, either at the airport or somewhere in Jersey doing whatever. Like, he was going to have to kind of waste some time. And he was looking on the app from the airplane, or the airline company, and for whatever reason he got like a notification from them that said, if you would like to, I can't remember the term he used. It was like when they have extra seats on planes or whatever, and he could sign up to go on an earlier flight, but it wasn't a guarantee. But he could still rely on his original flight if that one fell through. So he's like, well, why not? I'll just go. The worst thing is I got to sit at the airport for 4 hours or something. And so he got home way early. He got home because he hopped a flight at like 3. So he was home, 6-7 hours earlier than he should have been. It's no big deal. From New Jersey to Minnesota. If you were to get in your car and drive 80, it's still going to take you 17 hours or 18 hours or something like that. That's a long distance. Same thing when I flew back I was out in New Jersey and I flew back, and it was, how many minutes? Or it was less than 2 hours, I think, in the air. Anyway, so we have all, like, our world and the world we grew up in. We have all these luxuries, all these things we use, and we do take them for granted because it's just part of our world. This is reality. I mean, we have phones, and you can talk to people in Australia. It's no big deal. But I would want to remind anyone, just to try to keep yourself aware that we are in a kind of a unique time. Well, not kind of we are in the most unique time that has ever been, that our history has ever talked to us about, or told us about, right? Okay, so let me Jesus said something here that I don't want you to miss. Like, even if you don't believe that that's a real story, or whatever, it doesn't matter. I don't care what you believe. But just know that if you see the truth, that he claims that he is the truth. That's quite the claim. But listen to what he says about it.
Pilate therefore said unto him, Art thou a king then? Jesus answered, Thou sayest that I am a king. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the truth. Every one that is of the truth heareth my voice.
So he just said, because Pilate was asking him if he was a king, and he's like, you say I'm a king. And he said, to this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world. He's saying, this is why I came into the world, that I should bear witness to the truth, that I should see the truth. And then he says, everyone that's of the truth heareth my voice. So I know that here's an example. Jeranism is I don't know what the right word is. He's testing out Scripture, and he's been testing it, and I'm sure he's been testing it for many years. And he comes up kind of with the idea that the God of the Old Testament's different than Jesus, and I can understand where he comes from and everything. And so a lot of people that would consider themselves to be Christians would probably look at Jeranism and say, he's not a Christian. He's not. He believes in a creator, but he doesn't know Jesus and whatever. And I'd beg to differ, or I'd beg to argue with that. What does Jesus say? He said, everyone that's of the truth hears my voice. Jaron is testing out. He's testing things. We don't always have the right. We don't always have the right answer or the right idea about things. But as we are testing out and seeking the truth, that's when we learn. And usually we learn that we were wrong about a lot. I think everyone probably that's a truther or whatever would agree with that. You've believed a lot of things that now you say, I was way wrong. But that's what the whole process is to me anyway, is learning that no, this is not true. And then finding truth in, where it may be hidden. But so he came here for the truth, guys. And then he also said that he said to his disciples, he said, you shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free. So that's just something. That's just something to me. That's super. Hey, Nuthouse, how you doing? It's something that's super important, and because I know that, if I had a conversation with Jaron about Jesus, he might, or Jaron, did I say Jaron? If I had a conversation with Jaron about Jesus, he might have way different idea about who Jesus is, or if Jesus existed or whatever. But we could talk about just about any subject and probably agree that one thing is true and one thing is a lie. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're really looking for it. We're looking for the truth. And nobody knows all of it. So let's go back to YouTube really quick. So I'm going to play a video that I just put up on TikTok today, just a few minutes before I went live. And 330 people already watched it. And it's a good, at the beginning, I had the the Scream voice guy or whatever, Scream movie guy. He said, I think Enoch described rockets causing destruction. Please listen to what he says. So that was what I put at the beginning. So we're going to watch this video. Simply reading the book of Enoch a little bit. Just a few chapters. He describes something that we have in our world today and that we can see happening today, and it's pretty scary actually because of what he saw happen after that. I mean, if we're seeing what he saw, and then if it continues, and then one day, is it just going to continue us seeing that forever, or is the same thing going to happen that Enoch saw? I believe the same thing's going to happen that Enoch saw. So listen to what he described. It's kind of freaky. Let's go full screen. I saw the treasuries of all the winds. I saw how he had furnished with them the whole creation, and the firm foundations of the earth. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the earth, and the firmament of the heaven. And I saw how the winds stretch out the vaults of heaven. and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. And I saw the winds of heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their setting. I saw the winds on the earth carrying the clouds. I saw the path of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of the heaven above. And in those days the angels shall return, and hurl themselves to the east upon the Parthians and Medes. They shall stir up the kings, so that a spirit of unrest shall come upon them, and they shall rouse them from their thrones, that they may break forth as lions from their lairs, and as hungry wolves among their flocks. And they shall go up and tread under foot the land of his elect ones. And it came to pass after this, that I saw another host of wagons, and men riding thereon, and coming on the winds from the east, and from the west to the south. And the noise of their wagons was heard. And when this turmoil took place, the holy ones from heaven remarked it, and the pillars of the earth were moved from their place.
That's ridiculous.
And the sound thereof was heard from one end of heaven to the other in one day.
Double sonic booms.
In the year 500, in the 7th month, on the 14th day of the month, in the life of Enoch. In that parable, I saw how a mighty quaking made the heaven of heavens to quake, and the host of the Most High, and the angels, 1,000 thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000, were disquieted with great disquiet. And the head of days sat on the throne of his glory, and the angels and the righteous stood around him. And a great trembling seized me, and fear took hold of me, and my loins gave way, and dissolved were my reins, and I fell upon my face. And Michael sent another angel from among the holy ones, and he raised me up. And when he had raised me up, my spirit returned, for I had not been able to endure the look of this host, and the commotion and the quaking of the heaven. And Michael said unto me, Why art thou disquieted with such a vision? Until this day lasted the day of his mercy, and he hath been merciful and long-suffering towards those who dwell on the earth. And when the day and the power and the punishment and the judgment come, which the Lord of spirits hath prepared for those who worship not the righteous law, and for those who deny the righteous judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, that day is prepared, for the elect a covenant, but for sinners an inquisition. So there you go. It's written down, guys. I was going to show you something else. Okay. Let's go. How can I do this? Maybe I'll have to just read them. I put a video on TikTok that got a lot of views and a lot of comments. It was about the firmament, and it was about rockets breaking the firmament or going into the firmament. And it's interesting, the comments. They're, let's see here. Let me just play a little bit of the video on TikTok, and I'll look at the comments.
They're going to break the firmament one of these times.
A gravity turn, which is when we...
Oh, I already missed one. Oh, they just keep going even if I pause it. Oh, man. Oh, I can actually... Okay, here we go. I can just look at the comments. Okay, they can't ever. It's impossible. You can try all you want, but you can't break the laws of the universe, which says you cannot leave the firmament, which means you're not going anywhere. Maybe is the wrong way. Go under. The firmament will open. Not from us, though. This, like, all of these comments are exactly the opposite of what the Bible says. Just so you know. Okay, these people better not quit this trend. How do flippers... okay, we're not going to do the flippers ones. Pretty smoke rings. You know what? Let me play the video. It's on my channel. I'll play it with no sound in the background while I read these comments, because let's see it. It has 555 likes and 197 comments. Let's see. Content. Channel active community guideline strikes. Warning. You said vaccine. Strike. Okay, where is it? It's down here already. Wow. Okay, let's watch this just while we're... I think I had some... Oh, we got a commercial. That's odd. I don't even monetize. Apparently YouTube does then. Okay, so this was a Falcon 9 launch that happened like 2 weeks ago. So this is what this video is about on TikTok. And I'm going to read you more comments. Impossible to break. Sorry, but I don't see it happening this era. Can't. Only sound breaks glass. The voice of an archangel. The sky rolls up like a scroll. And for what, though? Won't happen. True, they never will be able to break through it. But they will keep stealing your money. Is that video over already? That was only 54 seconds. So you guys saw what the deal was on the... This is, I forgot where it is in this video. So it does this stuff. Look at it. You can see a hole through the clouds there. And then this weird thing that happens, whatever these rings are. Like, isn't that the firmament where the birds fly? Or the, you know, like heaven where the birds fly? You guys see that shockwave? Kind of weird. Kind of weird. Let me just pause it like during one of those shockwave things. Okay, watch what comes. It looks like it goes in front of the rocket, kind of. Or off to the right, anyway. See that? Boom, that shockwave. Okay. Let me just pause it there. I'll keep reading a couple more. There's just interesting to see what people, how they feel about it. Or here's why. Because when God came down when they built the Tower of Babel, this is just my thought process on this. When he came down and saw the tower they were building in the city, and he confounded their language, which made them stop building the tower. Okay, what did he say about it? There's one thing that God said about it. He said, with one language and one tongue and words of union, nothing will be restrained from them that they imagine to do. Let me ask you, did Elon Musk imagine breaking into the firmament where the sun, moon, and stars are? Did NASA imagine sending the shuttle to what they call space? And it's obviously the part of the firmament where the sun, moon, and stars are. The firmament of heaven. God set them in the firmament of heaven. So, yes, they imagined it. And we all do have words of union in this world. There's no language that you can't communicate with your phone. You can just use your phone. Go to Google Translate. You can talk to someone in Zimbabwe. Communicate, ask them where the bathroom is, or ask them where water is, or whatever. No problem. Ask them to build you a part for your rocket ship. No problem. Words of union. God said, not Joe or anyone. It doesn't matter, because God said that nothing would be restrained from them that they imagined to do. So when men said, we want to go to the moon, and they imagined going to the moon, they went to the moon. But is it real? Well, maybe to them it was. But there's some of us here going, the moon's not a rock. The moon's a light. And to go up there would be to go where God lives, to go where those who dwell in heaven are, but that's not what God wants. Let me read some more of these comments. Look at the front of the rocket, that white wave that shoots from it at the beginning. No such thing as a firmament. It's a different frequency. It will be impossible. They won't. They can keep trying, but it ain't happening. They will never get through. LOL. Well, if it's broken, the earth will flood. I thought it looked weird when I first saw it, but I'll keep it to myself. The firmament sentence. That's an interesting one. Should I be saying the people's names who say this? I suppose I should. Robert Huckabee 1 says, Mother Earth is more stable than any man. Okay, I'm reloaded says, they will never. Chevy for Life says, there's no way out, LOL. Brad Spencer 14 says, if you notice the ripple, that is them breaking through. Just saying. See, that's what I'm saying, you guys. Our world, we call it a shockwave. And it happens in the air. It happens at like 760 miles an hour or something. So it's not a barrier like a piece of glass. It's a barrier that has to do with time and how fast you're going. So actually, the person that commented about frequency, Watchman 54321 said it's a different frequency. It will be impossible. Just think about that a little bit, or think that way a little bit when you're thinking about it. Because it has to do with how fast you're going too. H. Jasper E says the firmament is not a solid dome. I agree. I don't think it is solid. I think it's very hard. Like, I think it's very strong and very hard. And you know what it's made of? In our modern society, we would call it atmosphere. Because if you're going fast as all the things in the sky are, like, there's nothing in the sky that's just sitting still. There's just not. Anything that stays up there is actually moving. It's moving, just like the stars are, or the sun, or the moon, or the space station, or satellites. Think about it. So as soon as they stop moving, they would just fall. They have to be moving orbital velocity or whatever velocity because that's going to be directly related to what they call an orbit, but it's more of a circuit. They're going towards the outer parts of the earth. That's what an orbit would be. They're moving out. They're going out to the side. They're going sideways. Like out from the center. Outer darkness. There would be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Then Errol Anderson 1 says, when it breaks, it's over. And Gavina 069 says, can't break the firmament. Green Blur 02 says water. Blue Kachina says they can't. Yah is laughing. Remember what Yah said, though. Remember what he said. He said nothing would be restrained from them that they imagined to do. So I think we need to be careful. Murdoch 52 says they'll never break the firmament. Chicken Little Terra Plana, if you guys are on TikTok, go follow him. Chicken Little. Hope you've seen my videos last night. Much love. We are boss brethren of the same Savior. You know it. We're not alone. 6 says proof. Laughy, crying, laughy face. Daedalus says, I believe CERN might be working on this to get through. MP Haas, I don't know, says, why didn't Artemis break it? With 3 laughy faces. And K7 Ington, I don't know, K7 Ington says, they have been trying for 60 years. Lou Diamond says, meteors and meteorites are constantly ripping through the upper atmosphere and hitting Earth. Yeah, and what happens when they hit the Earth? What happens? This is why when we're talking about the firmament, the video that I just played of not this one of the recent rocket launch, but the one with Enoch, chapter 57 and 60, and part of chapter 56. That it's like he's describing. Well, hold on. I think I can just hit the back button or what? Oh, I guess I must have closed it. But here, let's see. What was it even called? I totally just lost where I was at here. Sorry, guys. I do that once in a while. Okay, I guess it was on a different page. So let's see. Yeah, the Rocket Lab, they launch small satellites into orbit, and they're like an upcoming commercial rocket company or whatever. And they have like a saying for, they don't call it the firmament, but they call it the wall. Because of the intense heat and pressure that's put on anything trying to go to come into the atmosphere. That's why everything has to have heat shields, and it's the most dangerous thing about exploring the solar system is coming back to the Earth. The most dangerous thing. I suppose the rocket launch is plenty dangerous too. Sitting on top of a pile of the most extreme explosives known to man. Just pointed in the opposite direction. Astronauts are crazy. I think they're just fallen angels, you guys. Okay, so let's see here. There's a video I want to play, but I still wanted to read some more comments. Like all these people, they have high hopes. They're all saying that nobody can get through the firmament, and I'm like, well, you guys are a little bit behind the times, because haven't you looked up? There's a Dragon capsule flying up there. There's a space station flying up there with a Dragon capsule attached to it. People take pictures and video of it that somehow gets avoided. Go to Astronomy Live's channel. Go to what's the other channel? They have a really nice camera, tracking camera. Something Launch Systems. What is it? Or no, it's Launch Report. If you typed in Launch Report, you'd get that. It's, I don't know what it's U.S. Launch Report, or I don't remember what it is. But it's a bunch of old guys that go around with their tracking camera, or they're usually at Cape Canaveral. And like one time they were filming the ISS flyover, and it's like so crystal clear with their telescope. Their telescope, they pull it with, it's a trailer, like it's a whole trailer, and they have to go inside the truck in front of it, and they control it from there. But the telescope itself, it's like a trailer, so they have to pull it behind their truck. It's a serious unit. And maybe we'll even go watch their video of the ISS. But what I'm trying to say is that if you're saying to yourself, oh, this is all just fake, then I can tell you I know that you're not looking into any of it. You don't know what they're doing at all because you're just avoiding it, saying, it's just all being faked. So be careful. Yeah, Thomas Morgan, Jesus said not to be ignorant of Satan's devices. So just saying it's fake, and I don't care. You can say what or believe whatever you want. I'm just trying to tell you it's not fake. And all these people that have these high hopes about the firmament aren't understanding the times that we're in and what's coming. What's going to happen? What is going to happen? That's a good question. Well, it's written many times in the Bible what happens on the day of the Lord. What happens? The sky rolls up like a scroll. What could possibly make the sky roll up like a scroll? Something that's very loud, very, very loud, and it shakes the whole sky. What could be that? What could be that? I mean, rockets are no, it couldn't be rockets. You think there's rockets in the Bible? You're nuts. Well, guess what? Jesus said that he'd send the Spirit of truth. And one of the things the Spirit of truth would do is he'd show you the future. How do you like that? He'd show you things to come. So he would show you things before they happen. I bet you a lot of you can see things right now before they happen. Here's some more comments. That's definitely new. Looks like they're trying to puncture it instead of slicing it. That was Love You More 555. Meech Detroit says, they have figured out how to get into the waters below the firmament, but that's as far as they're going. And then Bigo Con Man 11 just laughed. Carpenter DJ says, they will never be able to get through the firmament. That's what Project Fishbowl or whatever, where they bombed it many times. Many, many times. I forgot about that, yeah. Money Machine Picks says, people are so afraid, LOL, ignorance is a bliss, but the inevitable is inevitable. I think Money Machine Picks gets it. I think that they understand that this has already been, like we're living in time. Everything that we do time is related. You know what I'm saying? Time is in it. But that's everything in our world. But there's the spiritual world is somehow outside of that time. So they are not bound by tomorrow and yesterday or whatever. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what that means. But somehow prophets of God were given information and visions, and they wrote these things down. And they were told that it was going to be, this is what's going to be at the end, as if this story already happened. And we're just playing it out as we're in it, but not from it. Like we're in the story. Like we're here in the story. And we're realizing that we're here in the story. Because of what those guys wrote. Otherwise, we wouldn't know anything about this story. Like, I mean, I'm being honest, it's not about me, but some of us started noticing these things. It's 2022 right now, and I think I made my first video about like SpaceX Dragon in May of 2016. I think is when I first uploaded my first video about Dragon, and it was because I was in the dentist office, and I heard on the radio that SpaceX had landed this rocket, and I'm like, dude, I think that's what it says in Revelation about, and it does. I mean, it says, he said he saw a beast coming up out of the earth, and it had 2 horns like a lamb, and it spake as a dragon. And I was thinking to myself, wow, that's crazy, because the rocket does come up out of the earth, and it's a 2-stage rocket too, but the thing that got me was when they landed that. When they landed the booster, that was in 2015, I think. I think it was in 2015. the first time they landed that booster, it kind of made the verse make more sense, because the thing that it said, and he does great wonders and makes fire come down from the sky, and people would be able to see it. It was in the sight of men. So it was making fire come down from the sky, and people would be like witness of it. And then it says he was deceiving the world by the means of those miracles. So first of all, it seems to be telling me that landing rockets is not a normal thing, and that it's actually a satanic type of miracle being performed, of the devil, a demonic miracle being performed, and that he was deceiving the world by doing this. Oh, by the way, Elon Musk also says he's going to make a new world for humanity, because ours is crappy. What a joke this guy is. Here, let's watch this video, you guys.
It's a good day to be. This event is something that all of humanity can get excited about. It's just a fundamentally positive, good thing. I think we need more positive, good things in this world. This is hopefully the first step on a journey towards a civilization on Mars, life becoming multi-planetary, based on the moon, and expanding beyond Earth, and life becoming a multi-planet species, life becoming multi-planetary for the first time in the 4.5 billion year history of Earth. I think this is hopefully the first step on that journey. It will require a tremendous amount of innovation and technology development to make going to orbit and ultimately beyond orbit a routine matter where thousands and perhaps ultimately millions of people can travel to other planets. That's what we really need to achieve over time. That's obviously a very difficult goal, but that's seeming increasingly real with what happened today. Getting people to orbit finally after 18 years. If we are able to increase the rate of innovation, then life can become multi-planetary. This is the goal we should strive for. Yeah, human spaceflight was always the goal, the fundamental goal of SpaceX. Well, like I said, to create the technologies or help create the technologies necessary to make life sustainably multi-planetary. I cannot emphasize this enough. This is the thing that we need to do. We must make life sustainably multi-planetary. It's not one planet to the exclusion of another, but to extend life beyond Earth. We are life's agent in this regard. All the creatures and the plants and everyone that exist here on Earth, we can bring them to other planets, and it's very important that we do so as soon as possible, I think, while the window of opportunity is open. I call upon the public to support this goal, and to think about this goal, and think about how important it is, and how fundamental it is to the future. We've got to get it done. The launching satellites is nice, of course, and it keeps we've got to bring in more money than we spend. This is important, but it's ultimately all about life beyond Earth.
Yeah, believe Jesus instead. For real. You get, this world obviously believes Elon Musk. He's going to bring us to Mars. Problem is, I just don't see, first of all, that's just unrealistic. There's no air or anything there. There's nothing that humans aren't meant to live anywhere but Earth. Obviously. You try to go outside of the Earth, you're going to die. So, oh, we got some tubes. We can live in these tubes, though. Is that living? I think you're just avoiding reality. I would say believe Jesus instead. He's got a much better kingdom that, you know, if you want to live in a tube in some god-awful place that doesn't even exist, it's like nobody even knows what Mars is. They send a rover to Mars and they get data back. Doesn't mean any of it. Have you guys seen the meme where they're like, there's a bunch of like Martians holding a mirror up to the, you know, like the camera on the Mars rover, and they're like laughing. Like, you don't think that devils can do deceitful things? I mean, come on. Okay, here's another one. Tell me what you think. This is called What Do You Think?
Propulsive landing.
Getting the basic infrastructure of being able to reuse these rockets.
I think I got to read the audio. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That's Revelation 13, verse 13.
Propulsive landing.
I'll read it again. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Revelation 13, verse 13.
Getting the basic infrastructure of being able to reuse these rockets.
Fast, you're going to do a final burn here in just a moment.
Oh, a final burn? What's a burn? They do these re-entry burns and boost back burns and landing burns. What is burning? What's burning?
There's final burn 1 and 2. 2 candles coming down.
And the noise of their wagons was heard, and when this turmoil took place, the holy ones
Double-sonic booms.
from heaven remarked it, and the pillars of the earth were moved from their place, and the sound thereof was heard from one end of heaven to the other in one day. Sound, you guys. From one end of heaven to the other.
2 down.
Echoing.
Beautiful landing.
That's
And
right,
I
Trisha
see
C.
2 standing.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That's exactly what this is.
Holy shit!
Wait for the booze.
Uh-oh. Something happened with my program. It did. I hit pause and it actually paused, so we might have just been a glitch. Hi, Beck from Oz. I already mentioned you in this stream. I was mentioning, because I was saying how things are kind of like magic these days, how you and I have talked on the phone, and you live in Australia, and I live in Minnesota. Things are like magic these days. Let's try this video again. I don't think it's going to play. I think that's going to end the stream. So what do you think, guys? Oh, maybe it's going to play. We'll see.
That is awesome as hell. That's amazing. Easy.
Oh man, that's all the farther we got. maybe. Yeah, I don't know what, I'm going to pause it. I really don't know what's going on with my program. I have been cleaning up my computer though, so it's working a lot better, my computer is, but YouTube's giving me the yellow bar too. You ain't got enough data or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think, thanks for all your comments, by the way. I saw lots of good comments. One was Trisha C. said, it blows my mind people don't see this for what it is. And that I agree. Thomas Morgan put Amos 9 verse 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And Joel 1:15, alas for the day of the Lord is at hand, and as a destruction from the Almighty shall it come. That's kind of scary. I'm reading these verses that Thomas put in here. Isaiah 24 verse 6, therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. So this just reading those few verses is putting it into perspective for me. And my mouse just quit working. Sort of. Okay. It's putting it into perspective for me a little bit. Just those couple of verses. The thing that, how I was saying, he shows you things to come. It's not good things. How's that? It's not good things. It's things that are actually devastating, and it's actually things that, from my point of view, are real things. And there's a reason why I would even talk about it. It's because it's coming. Like, these things are, the prophets wrote about them. They described them very well. If I could, I would play, maybe I can play you part of it anyway. I think if you want, you could get it from my channel. Let me just get it from my channel, and I'll put a link in the thing. Like, the idea that rockets are something having to do with the destruction and the stars falling from the sky and the sky rolling up like a scroll. That idea is not just in one spot or something. Arabia. I have a video called "The Demon in Arabia," and it's just towards the end of the Testament of Solomon, and he talks about a great pillar flying through the air. And when they let down the pillar, it would be the end of the world. Well, it was being carried by demons. Let me get a link here for you. How do I get a link here? Details? Here's a link. Okay, I'm going to get a link. If you have 6 minutes, copy. Okay, if you have 6 minutes, because I'm going to end this stream. But if you have 6 minutes, go to this link. I'm going to put it right here. And I'll spam the chat a couple times with it, if my computer will let me. And listen to what he says about this great pillar. Like, he doesn't really say what it is, or he just says it's a great pillar, and these demons are carrying it in the sky. And when people looked up at it, they could see the pillar, but they couldn't see the demons. And the demons were the wind. It was the wind. They were using the wind. Scary. Let me make sure that those went in there. Okay, yeah. Those couple links, if you guys want to just listen to, it's just a section of the Testament of Solomon. It's 6 minutes, 54 seconds. It's interesting. I mean, I really don't know exactly what it means, but I think I have an idea. So it's one of them things. One more video, or my program, it just died, I think. I don't even know if it's still there, I guess, but I'm not going to try to play another video. It just won't work. So I'm going to say thank you for being you, and thank you for thinking about this stuff. I mean, oh wait, what's this? Should I give you guys a preview of something I'm making? I might just click on it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's one of them deals. I just saw it, so I'm like, I'm going to click on it and see what happens. It worked. Okay. that's enough of that. Oh, here's me at the SpaceX launch. All right, guys. Much love. We'll talk to you soon. And check out my TikTok, Effed Up World over there. Check it out. I got some kind of shorter videos that are kind of different. So, anyway, thank you for coming, and have a great day. And keep looking up, because